Go.
Okay. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Communication Studies Association's live podcast. My name is Shania Ramroop, and today I have with me Naveeta Ramcharan. Hi, Naveeta.
Hi, Shania, and hi to everyone here today.
Great. So, Naveeta and I are both members of the Communication Studies Association, and today we are here to discuss a case study entitled Does Animals Hold the Key to Our Health? So, we'll basically be applying public relations concepts to this case study in order to analyze it for you. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. So, Navita, I would definitely say that the main points that the speaker is reiterating throughout the speech is save animals, save ourselves. I think that, by the speaker continuously emphasizing the importance of treating our animals well, she uses phrases like, when we help our animals, we help ourselves. And I think by her constantly repeating these phrases, it really drives the communication message home.
Yeah, I definitely agree because, well, the main point, as you said, was reiterated. She continuously repeated and repeated it to place emphasis. So it was clear that the audience would have been able to receive
Mm-hmm.
the message because it was really clear and it was strong and it was definitely effective.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to speak about
Yeah, for sure.
communication. And here now in the case is where the speaker incorporated informational and persuasive elements in her speech. So it was based on research, it was justifiable, and the speaker did make it clear to everyone involved that they will be affected, and she also provided a
Mm-hmm.
opportunity, understanding, and support. So apart from all of those,
For sure.
she employed rhetoric traditions to effectively convey her message to the audience. So another thing was because she was a doctor, she was deemed to be a credible.
Mm-hmm.
She used passwords to persuade her audience members and even logos to appeal to her audience members through the use of statistics. So as we speak about pathos is where it appeals to one's emotional sentiment, right? So there were many examples from the case to speak about pathos. So example one would be that more animals suffer today than ever before in human history. And many of you would be able to relate to this because on social media, there are numerous videos with animal abuse going viral. So that is prevalent. Secondly, most of us are going to die from a chronic heart disease. And this is one I can definitely say is true because nowadays they inject a lot of chemicals and whatnot in these animals, and
Mm-hmm.
that's really not safe for us to be consuming. So we're definitely gonna get a lot of heart disease and probably even more diseases. Thirdly,
Mm-hmm.
if you spend hours on one of these farms, your eyes will definitely burn as well as your lungs from the scent of this urine because it's so strong.
Mm-hmm.
It it can affect us negatively, you know?
Yeah, I definitely agree with everything that the speaker was saying, and like after her you know um using all of these examples, it really triggered something in me. Like, I was just fearful. I was like, yeah, I should definitely stop eating meat now.
Yeah, definitely.
um
Prevention is better than cure, you know?
yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think another thing that I like that the speaker incorporated was a lot of statistics, and that's a perfect example of logos. It's just the use of statistics and logical appeal. So, I listed a couple here. She said every day hundreds of animals are experimented on. Every week, thousands of animals are returned from their homes and shipped across the globe to be exotic animals and for meat. Um, she said, every year billions of animals are slaughtered for our consumption. And I think that's so scary. Like, you would never think it's billions of animals being killed just for us
Yeah.
to
And
have, like, some meat.
Also, I believe that, presently a lot of animals are becoming extinct.
Yeah.
If these trends continue, the slaughter of
Mm-hmm.
animals and when they are ripped from their habitats, that
Yeah.
we might eventually no longer have animals, you know,
Yeah, for sure.
constantly killing them out and whatnot. But
Yeah, for sure.
there be any remaining.
And she also said, 1 in 3 of us have a heart disease, or we are bound to get a heart disease. And I think that's so scary because we never really thought of it in that light. Like consuming so much meat, it's putting animals at risk, and it's also putting ourselves at risk.
Yeah, definitely. And also, I believe that if these trends continue to be the way they are, or if it increases,
Hmm.
then the statistics will definitely be shooting up, you know?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So Navita, who would you say is the target audience for this speech?
Well, I believe that the target audience or the publics would be the persons who consume the meat. And I believe so basically
Hmm.
because of certain characteristics. And those characteristics
Yeah.
because of the homogeneity, because the public would have been most likely to be the meat eaters. I also believe
Hmm.
um, it was important because the public being targeted would definitely play an important role in ensuring the success of their lives as well as
Hmm.
the survival of the earth.
Yeah.
To add also, the publics would have been large enough to matter because those would be the persons who consumes meat would be definitely large enough to warrant
Yeah,
strategic action. Also, they
for sure.
would be definitely reachable and the setting would have been also very effective. So therefore it was certainly reachable.
Yeah, I definitely agree, because it's quite obvious that, her speech is about, save animals, save our lives, and it's definitely geared towards like meat consumers. So I definitely see homogeneity coming into play. I would say for sure the audience have to play an important role here because we kind of dependent on them, to
Yeah,
like
for sure,
cut
for
back
sure.
on consuming meat.
And to make a
Yeah.
change.
Um, yeah, for sure. They definitely would be large enough to matter because I mean for sure we have a lot more meat consumers out here than vegetarians or vegans. So definitely.
True.
I agree with everything you just said. Um I think also I saw that there's a type of public that she's targeting in this speech, and I would say it's an apathetic public. So
Right.
basically, what an apathetic public is, it's just one that faces an issue. So in this situation, it's the meat consumers. They face this issue, they know it, but it isn't important enough to warrant attention, and the consequences aren't perceived as being important. So I would definitely use the example of meat eaters. They consume meat. Maybe they are aware. Most likely, they would be aware of the effects of consuming meat on themselves, and as like she said, billions of animals are slaughtered for consumption. So being aware of these things, I would think that the apathetic public, they won't necessarily see the impact as being important, so they won't really jump on board and become a vegetarian.
True, true. Well, I also believed, apart from the apathetic public, that the aware
Hmm.
public was also being targeted. And
Okay.
just to mention, the aware public are those who recognize the issue and perceives the consequences as being relevant, but aren't really organized
Hmm.
to act on it. So, an example
Okay.
from the case would be the people
Hmm.
who have learned that psychologists believe that companionship of pets improves the quality of life of the people. So in UE we have this happiness day where animals are brought onto our fields and persons
Mm,
are allowed to interact with these animals. And I believe that interaction of animal with these animals would sort of relieve some sort
yeah.
of stress or tension, you know, hence happiness day.
Yeah, I
Really
agree.
happy.
I definitely agree. Yeah, because at the beginning of the speech, she also said like 78% of us are more inclined to greet our companion pets before we greet our significant others. And she talked about, like when you're petting your dog or your cat purring under your hand, you just feel your blood pressure just decreasing, you feel so much better. So I definitely agree with that example, and I would say for sure I see an aware public being targeted there also.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I agree with you. And I
Okay,
agree
so
when she said that we would greet our pets before
mhm.
significant others.
Yeah,
She
I
also
do that all
mentioned
the
that
time.
her pet, unlike her husband, will do no wrong. So
Yeah,
that was really funny.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so we have come to the end of our podcast for today. I hope it was, beneficial to you all. We analyzed this podcast. We spoke about the main point being reiterated. We spoke about um, the effective use of strategic communication, and we analyzed the public. So, Navi, do you have anything to add?
Well, before we close, I'd like to thank everyone for listening, and I hope
Yeah.
that you all received the message and would look towards
Mm-hmm.
change, so that we can save our animals,
Yeah.
also ourselves.
Yeah. Okay. So that's it.
Yeah, that's it for today.
Okay.